Welcome one and all to another amazing night here in Tranquility.
We absolutely are in for a treat of a match here tonight, no question about it.
And the grenade from Pomku, eliminating everybody on the field.
Now I'm between something as well is going to be applied as a death block them, and it's going to be huge. Fighting three.
The double kill with the Bastion ulti? Alright, I see you guys.
For B-Well, look to find a stick there, finds the stick, they find two with it!
Those who find the picks will save the fight, and they don't really need to save what they've already won.
And Cam with the four-man punch off the map!
Experience tranquility.
Hello everybody and welcome back to week 2 of Tranquility. This is the Harmony Tier. We're going to be bringing you Galactic Penguins versus Mazz Effect. My name is Merp. I'm joined by Henry and I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, this match is going to be an incredible one to watch. I think, both teams bringing a lot to the table here. We're excited to see various comps that these guys are going to bring out with our new meta, relatively still unexplored. We're expecting to see a lot of diversity here from both of these teams.
Absolutely. Now, with a relatively unexplored meta, most of what we're going to be seeing is probably going to be Orisa. You're going to be looking at, the Torb, maybe even the Sim. I'm not sure how many teams are really playing with that. But as far as like the tank and the DPS line, you're gonna be looking at like an Orisa Torb, like bunker down sort of style, right? And speaking of the sort of comps and what these teams are gonna be bringing out, Mazz Effect have been improving over the weeks. They've been working on their A game, trying to get their team fights coordinated a little bit better, trying to make sure that the crucial fights that they have been losing, they aren't gonna be losing anymore. And I really think that if they've put in enough work, they can stand against the tides of even Galactic Penguins.
Yeah, they did take a tough loss during their first week match in 0-3, but every single map was very close. And they just said to me that they needed to clean up a few tiny mistakes, and they could have easily 3-0'd that match. So they're looking to come in here and make a statement, say, we maybe had a little bit of a rough start, but we're here to play, or not here to play, we're here to win. That's right. Mazz Effect they want to do really well. They maybe redeem themselves from their shaky start to the season. And they're coming out here with some new ideas, and we'll see if that can lead them to a victory.
Absolutely, and we're going to be going into New Queen Street for our first map, which is going to be interesting because it's not one you really ever see that sort of build style on. It's one of those where, because you're always in the move, right, you don't really ever get a chance to hunker down. The placement of the Torb turrets is always going to be out wide in the open, easy to pop, hard to maintain, and the Orisas are constantly having to fight against the moving wall, right? So rather than hunkering down around a corner and fighting for one particular hold, you very well could find yourself overwhelmed or surrounded.
Yeah, I do expect to see this Orisa come out from both sides, but you can also think about good flanking DPS, such as a Genji or a Sojourn, as well as a Soldier, could be very valuable for both these teams to pick up here. Just let them move around, take these angles, and eliminate the backlines of each team to win those fights.
Absolutely. Well, we're not going to really be able to see what they're doing until they even get out of the spawn room, because, teams, they really enjoy swapping characters mid-spawn. It's always a fun thing to try to guess as a caster how long that's going to last or what exactly that's going to entail. Looks like so far we're pretty set on almost a mirror with this Orisa Bap Torb combo from both these teams.
Yeah, I do like the Lucio pick from Mazz Effect here. It's going to give him a lot of rotational capabilities, able to set that Torbjorn up wherever you please, and really just kind of establish yourself early. Galactic Penguins, they've got a ton of damage, looking at the Illari and the Bastion compared to Mazz Effect, but it is going to be a slow rolling comp that you're looking to get set up somewhere, maybe a little bit patiently.
Absolutely, both teams here on the far right side near the statue of the hockey player. Now, both turrets being traded out. Galactic Penguins block on the and Mazz going to take that initiative. They're going to push in first, and now that they're missing both turrets, Mazz completely disables Galactic Penguins' hold and push the advantage strong. They're going to be winning the first fight here pretty handily and take the lead.
Yeah, when Goose fell, it seemed like everything kind of just collapsed for Galactic Penguins. You lose a lot of burst healing. You know, that Allari, you can get a lot of single target healing, but it's none of that AoE that BAP really provides to your whole team. So without that key piece, you kind of just crumble. You see the teams kind of scatter to the winds and make an escape, but most of them are caught out by Mazz, able to chase them down with that Lucio speed.
Absolutely. Look at the still looking for JJ already on that.
Yeah, Arcane Mango has got a window here. I wonder if they're going to invest this early, try to fight this.
And there goes the window inside of Mass Effect, but they have already taken so much damage. The Allari ultimate 5-3, they all explode into a giant beam of light, and that's going to be it. Galactic Penguins take a swift victory despite the ult investment from the side of Mass Effect.
Yeah, that window was maybe a little bit too late. Galactic Penguins just really ran in there and showing who's boss. They like, yo, we lost the first fight, but we're like back up on our top, okay? These guys are the juggernauts of Harmony Tier. If you ask most people who this team to beat is, it's probably going to be Galactic Penguins if you ask anybody. They've got this window now. They've got an Orisa ult to play with. They're coming up on a Bastion ult too. Just lots of really plans you can make with this Galactic Penguins.
The window gets pulled out early though, in order to take the lead, but Mazz continues to rotate around with some tests before they're able to make claims that stake in the game. Jesus also adding the overclock into the flank there. Ember's gonna try to get anything with the Orisa pull-in, but the only thing he's gonna be able to find is a immortality shield, and Jesus on the flank and getting so much value. But Goose going crazy. The Baptiste secretly a third DPS, and Mazz Effect not quite able to close this one out yet, despite having had a good starting line.
Yeah, Seapuck kind of falling to half here. Arcane Mango goes down. You know, I feel like with that flanking Sojourn really had a lot of potential to win that fight straight away, but Goose just 180s, domes Jesus, and says, nah, my room, you know, get out of here. And you see Galactic Penguins, they're going to take this checkpoint. They got to pick onto JJ, and I don't see these guys slowing down. They're just going to step on the gas here.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I want to point out is Mass Effect, you know, they put two ultimates in there. They put both the Molten Core and the Overclock in there. And maybe even a Sunbear as well. I see Dire Raven's down to 30%. On that Lucio Sunbear, and they still didn't quite find victory, right? If you're going to have to be able to find first victory, you have to be able to confirm that that's really a solid goal to achieve for you. And look at that. I mean, so much damage going on already, but Jesus once again able to find Goo in the back line. This Sojourn doing so much work as well as the 12 turrets finally going to be pick off Goose, and like you said before, with that Baptiste out, the healing crumbles, and so does the rest of it with this Mass Effect second chance to take the lead.
Yeah, JJ comes up huge there with a triple kill on that Torbjorn, able to secure this fight quite swiftly for Mass Effect, and they will be able to walk it back, but probably are going to be met at this corner by Galactic Penguins sitting in this window. They do have the Captive Sun here, as we saw previously, extremely powerful. You could just run in there and instantly demolish an enemy team. So we're going to see Galactic Penguins probably looking to take some initiative, want to pick this fight early.
Absolutely, and already turret down. Oh my goodness, very nice headshot. Allari is such a scary support. You've got to be careful. Your health can disappear in a flash with good enough mechanics, and Boo is showing that off quite nicely here. As both these teams going to be meeting here about the midway point. Neither one really taking advantage, but there goes the Molten Core. It's going to be finding Goose in the back line. No immortality field there to save them, as it was committed already and destroyed. Goose still has the Allari ultimate. Sunbear out there to sort of deny as much value as they can out of it, but it is going to be able to pick up Dire Raven with a very nice combo with the Orisa Javelin Spin. And that is going to be one trade for another. Mass Effect just trying not to die here. They're taking in so much damage. Carnage on this Bastion, going to be outputting so much pressure on the Mass Effect tank onto C-Puff that they end up just crumbling regardless.
Yeah, when you take a look at these comps that these two teams have rolled out on, you see Mass Effect, you know, they picked the Sojourn over the Bastion and the Lucio over the Allari. And Galactic Penguins, they're content to just wait for Mazz Effect to pump out their damage, use their cooldowns, maybe pop an ult or two, and they could just sit there and wait because they know that they have a higher damage output, and then when they're comfortable moving in, they can take this fight and win outright.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think whenever you have, especially because of the Orisa, that would negate either one of those from getting any value in users. I mean, as soon as that Devil Twin goes down, right, you're not going to have access to anything. It's basically sitting duck or disengage. And so I think people would recognize that they would take so much initiative off this. And even still, right, Mazz Effect still, you know, using ultimate, right? We just saw the overclock there for the Jesus not get any value, and they're really struggling to find any work here. But there goes the window there for Galactic. That's going to force Mazz Effect down. It's going to force you to be split. You've got to be careful if you're squishy. And there goes C-Pup, Carnage, gnawing them down with that window in the way. And Galactic is going to continue pushing forward.
Yeah, if I'm Jesus, I just want to get out here, right? If you get a pick, that's great. But if you die, you're probably going to end up costing your team the map here. It looks like he will be able to recover safely back to the loving arms of his tank, C-Pup there. But Galactic Penguins, they're making a push for the finish here. They've got ults in pocket. Here comes the multi-core and the Bastion's artillery.
So many, but there goes C-Pup, able to pick off Goose, and both turrets go down. C-Pup's able to pick off 2. Boo is able to use the Alari ultimate to find some sort of DPS value, and it's being traded left, right, front, and center. The wall lays down the molten core, burning the enemies alive, and that is going to clutch up that fight there, but it is just the Orisa and the Alari standing on the point, I believe. Now,
yeah,
do with that.
They're going to try to... Sorry, they're going to try to get as much as they can, but looks like they're just going to make a quick short walk to meet up with their team, take this one more fight, and you know, maybe with this win they might be able to take this map. So if you're Mazz Effect, you have to be very careful not to make a mistake here. This is a crucial fight.
Absolutely, you must. I mean, if you're glad to kill him, you want to just, oh my goodness, what a nice
oh my god.
Kind of move. Jesus, trying to get any value there from the window. He's not going to do it anymore time, but once again, negating the effects of Ember against really getting value just by forcing out what a crucial cooldown. Trying to split up the Torbjorn, trying to find the pick. There it goes. JJ does eventually go down. As the Penguins now have a man up advantage, two-man up advantage, and now the Penguins push back towards their spawn 1-2.
Yeah, it just seems like every fight Mazz Effect start down some health from this Bastion or this Torb on the side of Galactic Penguin. They're just using this so effectively, but it's not going to matter. Mazz Effect sweep in here and get a pick onto Goose. That's going to deny so much healing to Ember, and he falls as well. Boo's left alone and taken out there at the end, so Mazz Effect still in this one. They're able to walk it back, and they're coming up on a few ultimates that they can use to win this next fight. You know, when you look at the side of Galactic Penguins, they got window, but not much else.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Samurai there from the side of Mazz Effect gave them enough time to allow Jesus to find the picks that they needed in order to sort of sweep back that fight. And now they have another chance here. With a minute and 20 on the clock, Mazz Effect have to win nearly every fight that comes their way at this point. They have 3 ultimates in order to do it and have to use it smart.
Yeah, I'd love to see them maybe take a little bit more tempo on this. You know, Carnage, he's going to just lay down the damage onto your Orisa. C-Pup has been on half HP for us so much longer than you know, Ember. And there he goes, he gets melted down by Boo!
Yeah, I know, the Orisa ultimate came out, but the window was placed so perfectly by the side of Goose, and they were just able to melt it. Even a fortified Orisa is not enough if a 5-man stack is shooting through a window. And there it goes, Galactic Penguins now with 4 ultimates in the bank, have a perfectly opportune moment with Mazz Effect having committed 3 ultimates in that fight, realizing that they needed to win that. And now they don't really have a good tool to pack themselves up in.
Yeah, this Captive Sun could be a no beat from the side of Dire Raven, and if you can hit enough people with that, that just might be a full team wipe.
JJ trying to split up Galactic Penguins, find anybody who can, but there's the barrage there inside the Carnage can move, find Arcane Mango, and now you're losing, now you have lost out on the bat because he's healing. You essentially all the damage is permanent at this point. Mazz Effect have to be very careful, but it is going to be Galactic Penguins realizing that Mazz Effect have to come to them so that they back up and regroup as a whole. So very smart for them.
Yeah, waiting for Ember to regroup, and you know, they don't have to do anything. It's overtime and they've got a lot of time to work with in the bank. you know, Mass Effect have to push very far. So they're just able to combo this right now. This looks like it might be it.
But it was 8. It was 8 by the spin. The Illari ultimate did go through, but it's not. It's too much. Ember finds 3. Carnage able to pick that up with the Bastion turret. Overtime is ticking down, and that is going to be new Queen Street probably there for the side of Galactic Penguins. There it is. Overtime ticks down. And Galactic Penguins showing off strong in the first map.
3 ults on that fight. There's not much you can do if you're the side of Mass Effect. It's just, you know, I think if you look at that whole map, what happened, I think, is Galactic Penguins just got so much more out of their ultimates. Like, when they went to use an investment ultimate, they know what they're going to do. They get so much more value out of it. It feels like every time they pop a window, you get 2 picks, maybe even 3, you know. You lose the tank on the side of Mass Effect. A Captain Sun comes out, that's 2 or 3 picks, even a team fight one. Like, I just think these guys understand how their ultimates are winning their team fights, and they're using them so much better than Mass Effect right now.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't really argue with that, right? Whenever Mass Effect is able to use 2 to 3 ultimates and struggle to find that value, whereas you have Galactic Penguins popping, like you said, that single window and getting 2 to 3 picks in that time, or even full-on negating ultimates, right? We saw at one point Mass Effect tried to go for a massive Orisa pool, and the window was put right in front of them. And just that, even a fortified Orisa, even if both supports were pocketing that fortified Orisa, you're not getting through a 5-man window spam, right? I think Galactic Penguins have a very, 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 very solid understanding of A, their win condition, and B, how to communicate those win conditions so effectively that you're not overpaying for a fight win, overinvesting.
Yeah, you can see how these guys are well ironed. They're working together like one war machine, really. They're bringing the pain to Mass Effect right now, and it just looks so coordinated every time you see windows out. Anything that's really like an effective zoning tool. You know, you see Ember wants to go take space. He's probably communicating to his team, saying, "Hey, I'm going here. We're gonna take the space. We're gonna go in." And you see the whole team, Galactic Penguins, they rush in off that. They're able to really just move together as a unit.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's gonna be up to Mass Effect to really come together. I mean, every fight needs to be communicated. This is the ultimate we're gonna be using. This is our state of execution. What does Galactic Penguins have in the bank that we need to be ready to counter for, right? Mass Effect, they've done it a few times. They've either canceled a few ults, or they've responded or attempted to respond to Galactic Penguins and their win conditions, but Galactic Penguins have such a strong fundamental understanding of those win conditions that it doesn't matter when Mass Effect just answers back with an ultimate, right? You need to answer back with an ultimate and then counterplay on top of that.
Yeah, when we spoke to Mass Effect beforehand, they did say that Illari, they didn't view Illari as a must-pick hero right now. And you know, based on that new Queen Street showing, I don't know about that. I think just the healing output you get from Illari, the Captive Sun ultimate, I mean, next to Lucio, it seems like you just get so much more value, and Galactic Penguins really showing how devastating that can be if you don't have an Illari on your side and your opponents do. I think, you know, maybe you might reconsider. I'd maybe like to see them switch a couple things up for this map. You know, they did say they wanted to play some of their more what they viewed as meta comps, but with their comfort picks thrown in to maybe give them a little bit of an edge on mechanics. So if that Lucio was a comfort pick, I mean, I appreciate the effort, but it didn't seem like it was working out that game.
Here's the problem, right? The difference between the Lucio and the Illari is Illari has a very, very powerful healing turret. Yes, it did get a little bit nerfed, if I remember correctly, but with that Orisa composition, you're able to pick a corner and hunker down so much, you get so much value out of it. And Lucio's biggest tool is speed, right? But as an Orisa Torb comp, you're not looking to speed in. You're not looking to dive a backline. You're looking to hold it down until one of your DPS, ideally the Sojourn, or whoever is on your DPS lineup, is able to get a pick and then move into that, right? So I think the Illari is a stronger choice.
Yeah, and when it does come down to getting a pick, you know, that Bastion Carnage able to just put out so much damage, and you can see how effective that was. You know, Mass Effect's tank really going down so fast every fight, and I think that kind of cost them that one. Not much you can really do about that one. Bastion is Bastion and does a lot of damage. Everybody knows this. But you kind of just gotta respect that, you know. Give Bastion the space. You know, watch the cooldowns. Be aware. Kind of just play your own tempo, right?
Absolutely. Now, I don't want to speak too early. Excuse me, because teams still have the ability to
Still got it.
comp swap, but this is a very interesting look here for the side of Galactic Penguins. Okay, yeah, it is swapping. I was like, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Mass Effect going to be looking for this, once again, this is a reset defense. They coming out on the BAP Soldier Torb, so to me it looks like they are well and prepared for this pharmacy combo that Galactic Penguins is pulling out.
Galactic Penguins, when they spoke with me before, they said they had a cookbook where they came up with tons of crazy comps. I believe we might be seeing a glimpse into that, you know. They got two coaches able to just really put their brains together and to come up with all these crazy strategies. So we're about to see this at work. Ember in the backline on ball.
Yeah, nothing really happening now, but I'm very sure all the stage is actually this is going to be the first one to lose a member. That bar is under so much pressure, by the way, with this triple hit scan composition. And you know, Arisa can even do a half decent job of poking at that bar too. That I just don't know how hard the law is going to have to try in order to find any sort of like solid value.
Yeah, that turret especially is going to just be so annoying. As a Pharah player, you don't want to have to deal with that. You can pump out damage pretty quickly and eliminate those turrets, but it's still like just very devastating. Yes, and Justice finds that one as well. Like, as soon as the Torp turret goes out, you just know where the Pharah is.
Oh my goodness, Carnage gets down low once again. I don't know if it's working, man. I'm not really feeling this dessert. I think Gordon Ramsay would be calling me not an idiot sandwich, because I feel like that's a little harsh. I like the cookbook, but it's not working out right now.
They have secured that pick onto Nuclear though, and the Law is coming in with heavy damage, almost approaching that barrage, you know. Lots of ultimates on both sides, but Ember falls, and it looks like that might be a turning point. Barrage is out, but it's not going to secure the fight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that window from the side of Galactic Penguins, along with the Torb damage, from the side of Mass Effect, along with that Torb right click, right? Just so much damage came out. You saw the likes of Ember just get melted in literally two-tapped. He two-tapped the ball. I don't know how else to explain it. He two-tapped the ball, he melted the back line, and it was over.
I think if you're Galactic Penguins, nice pick, move in, use some ultimates, see if this works.
They have three. They have dove in, but Carnage just get picked off once again. The Law is able to find so much value. Arcane Mango does go down, and there's Jesus' Molten Core as well. Ultimate put in for the side of Galactic Penguins. They really wanted to win that fight, and they sure have. Every ultimate on the board used now, so you definitely don't want to be losing that one. They have one pick. I don't believe Mass Effect's going to get a second touch here with those minefields sitting in the way, and that will be point A. Captured 4 minutes on the clock here for the side of Galactic Penguins, as Mass Effect are now defending point B.
If you're Galactic Penguins, do you keep this comp, or do you maybe switch it up now that you have the spawn doors near you? It looks like they're going to stick to this. It was relatively an average speed take. It wasn't anything special, wasn't too slow or anything. So I can see this working out, but you know, you got to be careful on this ball. You're running into a high damage composition.
Yeah, I'm surprised the Law is getting as much value on this as they have been. You know, that Mercy Pocket, just such an incredible high value thing for the far end. As soon as I say that, I absolutely cast or curse them. I apologize to Galactic Penguin. Ember, the Law are felled immediately. Boo's gonna get Ember back up, but with a sound barrier invested by Mass Effect, Galactic Penguins can be forced back here.
Yeah, that res from Boo was really a good res. Like, you know, you scare Mass Effect. You force them to pop the sound barrier there to stay in this fight and really like close that one out. So, you know, trade a res for sound barrier. That's like a great trade. You'll take that any day. And it looks like Galactic Penguins want to move in here. You know, coming up on a pulse bomb, but not much else. They're just trying to win this fight raw compared to Mass Effect's two ultimates.
The Law and Boo cannot hard engage. They know that there's a tackle visor in the way. 2.5 minutes here as a couple minutes have been shaved off the clock. Nuclear going to try their darndest not to get picked off here. And window does go down. on the overhead, not really finding too much value. Jason's going to be eventually picking off the boost along with the help from Nuclear, and that's going to allow Mass Effect to sort of stabilize any damage that they're able to pile out.
Yeah, this ball from Ember is just doing a really, really good job about keeping Mass Effect off of the high ground, able to just knock them straight onto cart, right where they want them, you know, letting the Law take this high ground and just put down so much damage without really a threat of being picked off.
The Law is able to get a boop off to Jesus, and I mean, the Torb's down now, so if the turret's gone, that's removing at least half the threat from the far right, especially with that Mercy still pocketing him, still staying strong, still staying faithful in that combo. The Law is able to pick up Nuclear just like that because they're not under any pressure. Arcane Ringo goes down as well, and now this far is able to sting high and mighty fly free, and they're going to be captured now for 3 minutes in the clock for the Galactic Penguins, as they're going to be looking to push into the final point.
Yeah, Mass Effect able to actually pick up Ember early in that fight, but the Law just goes insane, picking up 3, I believe, to win that fight for Galactic Penguins, even though they're down a tank.
There's a continued rush there for the Galactic Penguins. They want to push in deep. Yeah, the barrage able to pick up for Arcane Mango. This time we're sort of used there for the side of Mass Effect, as they're going to be finally pulling this one back, even with the multi-ultimate engagement there for the side of the Penguins. The sound barrier saving the rest of the back line and keeping OptiBot in good shape, going to be allowing them to find their foothold. And Galactic Penguins go for a little bit of a comp swap, the loss, hoping over the May.
Yeah, if you're Mass Effect, you feel comfortable investing multiple ultimates there because, you know, Galactic Penguins, they don't really have an economy. They used a lot to win that last fight, push it over to stage 3 of this map here. And so Mass Effect, you can kind of use a little bit more ultimates than you need to. Be very aggressive. I wouldn't be surprised if Justice invests his multi-core here.
Now they're meeting around the corner. Ultimate's coming out. There it is. Justice uses his multi-core. And the window comes out as well. That's 2 ultimates now engaged inside the Mass Effect. They have to find a pick off of it though. If you're going to use that many tools, you've got to find the value. Nobody falls through with this. The Law is able to do is Casker's Orisa's trade out both DPS, so it's a free even fight right now. More of an investment though for Mass Effect is they have no ultimates now. They have to win this fight. Galactic Penguins have such a strong advantage with their own Orisa ult pulling up and their own window. There it is, a lead on the spot here. It's looking very good for Galactic Penguins.
Yeah, I think the window is going to be a great tool, going to help them push around this corner where they previously had trouble dislodging Mass Effect. You know, if you're the Galactic Penguins, you have a Captive Sun and a Terra Surge. If you can pop both of those off, you're going to win this fight. Looks like the Captive Sun does go out.
The Immortality for there to save the backline, though, is going to be followed through with the Orisa ultimate, but it's not going to find too much value. Carnage is able to escape with his life. Ember now deep in. Will Mass Effect be able to clean them up? Yes, they will. Arcane Mango is going to be the one to find the finishing touch. But Goose, while they were doing that, is able to find Jesus. Tiggs now coming in through as Nuclear finally activates attack Wiser, finding 3. Absolutely massive. 30 seconds left on the clock, and this could be a very, 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 very strong start to a .2 hold for the side of Mass Effect.
Yeah, Nuclear goes Nuclear there. Able to pick up 3 and really save them from defeat there. You know, Galactic Penguins, you're coming into this with a Riptire, Dragons. You gotta pop them now. You want to look for an early pick. But you do have the sound barrier available for Mass Effect. So if Dire Raven's able to get a nice sound barrier off, it won't do anything.
There's the window. Here's the tire, though. The Law is going to be diving in deep with the turret. Oh, nobody's able to touch.
No!
Nobody touched. The sound barrier the ultimate coming through. Nobody's able to touch. Nobody's able to make it. What in the what? Galactic Penguins. They give it up on .2.
A huge blunder from the side of Galactic Penguins there. Nobody's there. C9. Mass Effect, you know, shake that one off. You know, they got a little bit further than you'd like to see them. You know, most teams end up holding somewhere under the bridge here on Eichenwald. It's a very difficult spot to push through, but you'd be happy with this .3 hold. Mass Effect, you know Galactic Penguins rolled out on this ball comp. They've been cooking. What do you match this with, right? You got attack. You got some time to think this over. You know, what are you sticking to? Just the Orisa comp, or are you gonna switch things up?
From what we're seeing, it looks like both teams, you know, they've kind of settled into the cookbook, maybe? Nope. No. Honestly, I fully expected. Yeah, I was gonna say I would fully expect this Carnage going back to the Bastion thing because it worked so well last time for Galactic Penguins. Just finding here's the thing, right? With the Alari BAP Bastion combo, if Mass Effect make even the slightest positioning error, Galactic Penguins is good enough to take advantage of that with all 3 of those super high damage heroes, and take advantage of Mass Effect's errors, right? So Mass Effect, you're gonna have to play really solid in these rotations and really solid in the neutrals.
Yeah, I want to see Octobot maybe take this a little bit slow. Play careful. You understand now that they have a Bastion. They're holding this back corner. It's very difficult to dislodge them because they're almost playing straight onto the point you need to be at. And the Law picks up Justice with his spam. But, I mean, that's not a great start if you're Mass Effect.
Nah, but you hold the corner, right? You peek for half a second to try to get a little bit of value, and there goes your head, right? Torb just does so much damage if he's able to get a solid headshot, and there we saw it right there. And the turret as well, going to be adding to that little bit of poke damage. Now 3.5 minutes on the clock still with both teams trying to stalemate, trying to find anything. Mass Effect actually pushing in with his rotation around here, and so I don't really know what they're looking for, right? Carnage able to pick off the nuclear, and Mass Effect, they're down 1 now. They were down 2 for a minute. The Immortality Flip comes out just for the disengage, and Mass Effect gonna have to do a hard refit here.
You can see how low Octobot gets before they start each engage. Like, Octobot almost at half before they even make it to the fight. That's the power of this Bastion Torb comp. You just get so much damage, and it's hard to compete with. You know, if you're looking at just Lucio BAP heals, like, you're kind of getting outmatched.
There we go, though. The speed finally coming through. Nuclear's going to pick off the wall with a very nice javelin combo from the side of Octobot. The Immortality looking to keep the rest of Mass Effect alive as they dive in deep. Now, Ultimate's online for both of these teams. The window comes through from the side of Mass Effect. It is going to find a little bit of value, but what a beautiful barrage there from the side of Carnage. Going to be able to find Dire Raven, who isn't able to escape in time, and that could neutralize the fight. Away from their killers, and there is the Ember card. That phases to be trying to find anything they can. With 2 minutes on the clock, once again, Mass Effect are having to retreat.
Yeah, just like we said first map on New Queen Street, they're getting so much more value out of every single ultimate. Window goes down, guaranteed pick, straight away. You know, Galactic Penguins just like able to use what's at their fingertips so much better. Like, they know exactly what resources they have available, they know how to use them, when to use them, and it's really showing. You know, Octobot taking so much shred from this Bastion.
4 ultimates online, but there goes the ultimate. The Alari ultimate is going to be able to find 1, make that 2. The Immortality Field there not going to be enough, and that's an immediate team wipe. Luckily for the side of Mass Effect, they invested 2 ultimates there, so it's not the greatest of scenarios, but they still have a couple tools up their tool belt, and Galactic Penguins has now fully committed.
Yeah, 2 ultimates for 3 ultimates. If you're Galactic Penguins, you take that. You know, it's a little bit of an ult economy loss, but you are coming up on the Bastion ult for Carnage, and the way he's been playing, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets this team fight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you just enter the grind zone, right? This Bastion, once again, there goes the turret. They're waiting that out. They successfully do. The Erase ultimate is there. It's going to be popping Immortality Field and turret, but not finding any picks. The Law is going to be able to pick off Octobot, and immediately Mass Effect are down 1. Their Erase is no longer there. The sustain is falling apart. Mass Effect find themselves split off, and with 45 seconds remaining, they've only got 1, maybe 2 more chances to take a solid fight win here. And no ultimates online.
Yeah, it feels like Galactic Penguins, their goal is just to melt down Octobot, make his hell, and they're succeeding. You know, if you're Mass Effect, I can't really tell. You just seem to be running in, and then what, right? They seem to just want to go brawl, but there doesn't seem to be a specific target, right? You know, it's hard to catch this Baptiste, this Alari. You know, maybe you go after the Bastion, the Torb. I don't know.
The window's there, not look. Galactic Penguins, they're so good at playing safe that even when a window goes down, they don't get picked off. Jesus is gonna be able to pick off Boo. Again, she's doing a lot of nice work. Immortality Field comes up from the side of Boost to keep the rest of the team alive. But even with this overwhelming pressure from the side of Mass Effect, look at how long Galactic Penguins is staying alive. Carnage and Boost finally go down, and this is finally looking good for the side of Mass Effect. The Law is able to pick off Octobot, but it's just not gonna be enough. Finally, with it just being Ember and the Law on the point, it should finally be Mass Effect's time to take a W. But the Law, the Molten Core is gonna be able to pick up 2. It's only the one that Baptiste stealing at the point. I'm absolutely caster-cursing it. The Immortality Field goes down. It's only 1 more remaining.
Oh my gosh.
Penguins, take. Oh my good gravy.
How did they do that? It seemed like everything was going so well for Mass Effect. I just, the law comes up with one, maybe two, and it just flips. What a disaster.
What? Yep. Yep.
Lost for
That's
words
my
there.
summary of that last fight. That's my summary of that last fight. It's just, what in the world? What?
Yeah, if you're Mass Effect, that's so rough. You know,
I'm disheartened, and I'm supposed to be neutral in this.
I can't help but root for them. They're so close, and they just seem to not be able to get it done at the last moment of every fight.
Mass Effect. I know you can't hear me right now, right? But I think the play is to swap off the Lucio. I don't hate the idea of running in and finding a backline pick, but when Galactic Penguins are playing a BAP, Torb, Bastion comp, characters that love it when you run in or have sustained tools that keep them alive through a particular dive, right? You're feeding yourself to a grinder. You are the vegetable that's being put into a blender, and I think Galactic Penguins has taken a very, very, very abusive advantage of that fact. And so even whenever Mass Effect gets such a crucial lead in a fight, it's sort of just it doesn't quite pan out because you just don't have the sustain for it.
Yeah, and you can't really put this one on Optibot. You know, playing against Sebastian Torb, it sucks. You're gonna take a lot of damage. And you know, I can say try not to run in and in, but like you're a brawl comp, so there it is. You know, I think Mass Effect, when you see the DPS go off, they look like they can totally win this. It's just every second Galactic Penguins snag it back from the clutches of defeat. We're gonna have to go to break here, folks. We do have a B stream up and running at twitch.tv/TranquilityGG2 if you want to go check out all the action going on over there. But if not, we'll see you back here in a few minutes for map 3 of Galactic Penguins versus Mass Effect.
Hello everybody and welcome back to a very exciting match of Galactic Penguins vs Mass Effect. My name is Merp, I'm joined by Henry, and we are bringing you the third map of this incredibly diabolical series.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. Galactic Penguins have taken a swift 2-0 on the first two maps of Noon Queen Street and Eichenwald. You know, Mass Effect, there have been moments where I'm like, these guys got it. And then it kind of just all crumbles at the last second. Galactic Penguins just being able to stay in these fights so long, they make it count. They are so scrappy, just able to win fights where it seems like they shouldn't. And it's paying off. They're up 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, right? They are at the match point. If Galactic Penguins wins this next map, Mass Effect go home with a 3-0. And, I mean, what... Like, you at least want to take one map off, if not win the whole thing, right? You're here to play, you're here to win, for sure. And that's what Mass Effect is going to come into this third map with. Will they come up with a new strategy? Will they have a new idea, a new identity? Because we discussed this mid-break. I don't believe the Orisa-Lucio composition is quite favoring them because of the way Galactic Penguins is playing so safe and so far back.
Yeah, just all the damage that Galactic Penguins have been playing with this Bastion Torb comp, it's hard to compete when you only have Lucio heals. We've been saying this the last two maps, we're going to say it again. I just think if you're Mass Effect, switch something up. You know, I mentioned to you previously that I think Sigma could be really good. You know, you can use your Eat ability to shut down that Bastion turret. You get a shield, you get lots of health, just a lot more survivability compared to an Orisa when you look at staring down a Bastion and a Torb. And, you know, as we move on to Rialto, I think Sig is really a possibility. We might see a double sniper poke comp come out. That's a possibility now. Especially because Alari provides even more long-ranged hit scan damage. And so, you know, if you're Mass Effect, something's got to change, right? You can't just keep forcing this and it's expecting it to work, right?
Yeah, I hadn't even really thought about that. If you think about it hard enough, Alari can be a better hit scan than, like, Cassidy. Which is kind of silly when you really think about it. She just outputs so much damage, right? But with those headshots, anyways, I just or at least comparable, which is still scary regardless. But yes, I also think like double sniper would be a very solid pick. Whenever we're taking a look at Orisa Bastion, right? Neither of those characters are really ones that do great from a range. They want to get up into their enemies' faces, or they want to force their enemy into their face, and so playing like a Hanzo Widow, I think, would output a solid amount of damage, or just Hanzo Alari would put out so much damage that it would be very difficult for Galactic Penguins to play that far back super safely.
Yeah, lots of long sightlines on Rialto, so double sniper is a very valid map composition for this map. You know, we can still see this brawl, see them hold close, but if you're Mass Effect, like, especially on attack, I feel like would be a good decision to play this more long-range composition, even with something like a Junkrat or something long-ranged, right? Because Galactic Penguins, if they're on defense, they're just wanting to sit on their corner, nice and comfy with that Orisa, and, you know, Mass Effect, they can take their time, look for an opening, look for pick. You know, it gets a little more shaky on defense because you got Galactic Penguins running at you with a Bastion Torb, but, you know, just being mindful of that spacing will get them that win. And it looks like we are going to see that Sigma. I like this change from Mass Effect.
Would be very interesting to see. Yeah, with them on the defense, with them on the defense especially, I think this Sigma provides a lot of relief from the Bastion if we see it. Carnage and the Law have been swapping between DPS characters all game. They seem to cover each other's strengths quite well, so that if one wants to swap to something else, they totally can do that. And it'll be very interesting to see if this tank support swap from the side of Mass Effect, what we've been talking about, what we've been suggesting to them, is going to function. It's time to see if our theory crafting works.
Yeah, Mass Effect just gonna be content to sit on their high ground while Galactic Penguins kind of stroll up with this cart on Orisa. Nothing too much happening yet, but we might see a pick come out from Nuclear or the Law, or even Carnage on that flank, kicking us off into a heated fight.
There was a lot of you know, pressure on the wall, but there's so much healing coming up inside of Goose and Boo that you've got to take care of them before anybody else, right? And now that's a, oh goodness, C-Puff does end up falling to the low ground. Mazz going to sort of give it up as Galactic Penguins push around the corner, and they're not going to be finding too much value on this backline. As Galactic Penguins take a very, very smart rotation here through the initial building in order to get beneath the side of Mass Effect and negate the high ground very effectively and actually take and conquer it for themselves.
Yeah, Mass Effect able to escape that one unscathed, though. They're very, very cautious now, able to play their spacing a lot more, you know, I guess accurately. But C-Puff caught out. He is going to make his escape, but you know, if you're Galactic Penguins, if you can turn on the Sigma and get a kill, that's it. But it looks like they're gonna go after the backline instead. Sorry, that's Mass Effect coming up with 2.
Yeah, no, both DPS go down for the side of Galactic Penguins, and what was looking like a very, very, very solid rotation there for the side of Galactic Penguins, and a very, very strong position from them as well. Turns a Uno reversed as Mass Effect take the reverse side high ground and find both DPS, forcing Ember to sort of play much safer. Still in contention, but Mass Effect, they look strong and they have multiple ultimates on my
Yeah, I expect to see a lot of ultimates come out, but C-Puff falls early, unable to get healed up by that Bastion window, and Arcane Mango falls as well. I think Galactic Penguins are going to run away with this one. Might even get the first point off of it. But that res is coming out.
Windows traded, and because C-Puff was already down so low, it didn't really matter. You had to pick. Either you heal or you do damage, and Galactic Penguins, or Mass Effect, having their 50 split just could not make a great decision there. There is going to be a little bit of a touch, there's going to be a little bit of a stall, but this should be a point and capture for the Galactic Penguins. Now they've got 4 minutes on the clock in the point.
You know, I'm actually not impressed with the ultimate usage there for Galactic Penguins. You used all 5 ultimates to cap a point that I feel like they could have just won. And now you're moving into the second point. You're going up against a Flux and a Visor, and you kind of just gotta take it slow. Like, these guys are going to be able to out-ult you if they get a pick off of this.
Oh, what a nice high ground boost though. Gonna be splitting up for just a second. Not gonna do too much, I don't think. Galactic Penguins are gonna be forced back here. Bastion sitting up on the high ground with him as well, though. You've got to be careful, right? You don't want to push too deeply. You want to make sure that the Sigma's in front of him as long as possible. There's the Flux, though. Going to be picking up that Bastion. Probably going to find a pick on him with the Flux as well. Not quite. Actually, Nuclear does activate the attack to get Carnage picked up. But he's going to go down that Ember. Ultimate's used now from Mass Effect, and they're not finding too much value. 3 minutes on the clock here, but they're not going to find a foothold. It's actually probably going to be Galactic Penguins fighting the next victory as Mass Effect try to disengage with their lives. Pulled out to clean back up. The Windmill coming up. They want to try to find more pick, stagger out Mass Effect for a little bit longer, but now Galactic Penguins around the second corner, about to capture point B. Will anybody be able to stop them? Yes, they will. The window comes through, so does the res there. Arcane Mango is back up and running with the window active. The damage, it's not there. No picks found. Ember will go down finally, and will Mass Effect be able to sort of stabilize here? There goes a blade. Zaz is gonna go down though, and it's just a mess. It's just a mess. Nobody's able to claim victory here. Mass Effect trying to stall out, trying to, with that spawn advantage now, trying to sort of find their footing. They do eventually, but holy cow, could that have gone literally any direction at any point in time?
Yeah, I was a little bit confused about Arcane Mango's investment of that window, but it pays off huge as they're able to stabilize on this last point. They're able to get a pick off Boo, which is going to set Galactic Penguins down a member for a little while. So I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, no!
Back up!
Oh! Oh my gosh! My heart, bro. My heart.
we already saw one C9. We didn't need to see it from the other team as well. That would be a travesty.
Oh my gosh.
1:45 on the clock.
Looks like they're going for it again, but Mass Effect wised up here. Out comes the Captive Sun, Terra Surge.
Beautiful combination there. Terra Surge, Captivated Sun, like you said. Yeah, team kill, right? This is what we're talking about with the Illari pick, right? Is the Lucio's cool, the Mercy's cool. We're actually gonna be seeing the Lucio come back from the side of Dire Raven, which is interesting. But the Illari Terra Surge, combo is just so powerful. It's immediate fight with it.
Yeah, we saw previously how powerful that Mercy is when Galactic Penguins were on attack on Hryounkin wall. Like, I'm kind of surprised Hryounkin makes the swap off. I felt like the Mercy was providing a lot of significant impact to this Mass Effect team, but this window is going to do a lot more for them.
Yep, gonna split Galactic Penguins in two. No picks found. Sigma trying to get in deep, trying to find anything, but it's just not enough. The window goes through. Galactic Penguins, they've played so patient now that the attack riser's forced out here, and it's gonna get picked off. He gets a little bit too Fedocious, and Ember's gonna pick off Nuclear, gonna be forcing Mass Effect to be down, and Ember. Arcane Angle goes down too, and it's looking very strong for Galactic Penguins when it really should have been Mass Effect's fight.
Yeah, they split Galactic Penguins up, but it feels like they just didn't decide on who they wanted to push and stalled a little bit too long. And, you know, Galactic Penguins able to stabilize, make their rotations back, group up, and run them down with this powerhouse of a comp they've created.
3 ultimates. Carnage gonna be activating, or the Law gonna be activating, the Barrage gonna be immediately finding Nuclear. Nuclear's not gonna have a chance to survive. Sleep Up tries to go for the touch, not gonna be able to do it. Terror Surge comes through as well, gonna be finding 2. That's a team wipe on the point with, and just a beautiful push there for the Galactic Penguins with a minute 27 on the clock. Yeah. Mass Effect.
With so many ults in the bank, it's hard for Mass Effect to do anything there. I think, you know, that's Galactic Penguins' push to lose, if anything. Mass Effect coming out on this attack. Do you see the Do you see the Sigma stick? I think it was working really well for them. But, you know, clearly it didn't work well enough. Galactic Penguins able to send it all the way over the edge. And if you're Galactic Penguins, you know these guys played the Sigma. They played the Orisa last map and the map before. What are you expecting to see? Like, what do you roll out on defense? You maybe make the swap to Sigma if you're the Galactic Penguins. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really expect them to swap much. It's working out so well for them already. I don't fix what isn't broken, right? We do see that, and they're not opting for the Bastion this time, instead going for the Torbjorn for the high ground turret placement. But aside from that, right? Don't grease a oiled wheel. Don't fix something that's not broken.
Yeah, I think, you know, the Soldier, you get a lot more kill pressure on the backlines. You know, maybe they saw this Sigma and they're like, Bastion ain't it. We need more kill pressure on the backline. Mass Effect switching it up. Dire Raven over on the Alari now. Maybe they finally caught on. We'll see if this is able to get them this map win.
I would be very interested to see. We just need to see it from Dire Raven, right? Get those massive captivating stun ultimates. Find the value with the turret placement. This is a very strong push here from side of Mass Effect that they're going to be rotating underneath as well. Like forced down around the corner. It's looking very strong already. Jaws is able to get Carnage off, and Mass Effect can be up 1. They have got a very solid foot here.
Yeah, they need to dislodge Ember from this corner. Just Orisa taking up so much space and really making it really hard for them to move through. But Goose gets caught out by Nuclear. Excellent Helix Rockets, able to get him right behind that bush. And you know, Nuclear's got this high ground power position, able to get topped up by Arcane Mango. You know, I think if you're Mass Effect, you can win this brawl. You have better positioning for your DPS. You're up a couple of people, and the Law does fall to Jaws, so I think they should be able to bring this one home.
I would push in now. I would definitely like take advantage of the fact that they're up multiple, right? Ember down extremely low as well, is finally getting their supports back along with the Immortality, keeping them up. Ember's gonna be buying some space for their team, but that's gonna be it. Look at that damage from Dire Raven. We've talked about it before. The Alari headshots are nasty, and it's gonna be taking out a chunk of Ember's HP, causing them to fall. 2.5 minutes in the clock with the Mass Effect. They're gonna be pushing around the flat corner. It's looking much stronger for them already.
Yeah, down a tank with Nuclear on this high ground. I don't see how Galactic Penguins are going to be able to fight this one. I think just go reset. Unless you can pop some crazy ult combo, yeah, it looks like it's going to be. And they catch Sleep with the wall, the May wall.
Oh my goodness, the window was put a little too far forward for the side of Mass Effect, and Jazzus is going to be forced to find 2 with the blade. Dire Raven's activating the captivating stun as well, and that's going to be a team kill. Nearly Ember stalling out for just a little bit longer for the side of Mass Effect as they're going to finally get that one in. It looked scary there for a second, but Mass Effect able to clear it up just fine and finally have point A.
A little
We're gonna
pause
be
coming
going
out
into
for a
little
moment.
pause.
Yeah, while this team, these teams figure out what's going on, I'd like to say, I think, you know, if you're Galactic Penguins, you got that pick onto C-Puff, and you maybe didn't need to go in as aggressively, maybe perhaps overextend it a little bit, and let Jawzus get those backline picks on the Genji, and, you know, call kind of falls apart from there. I remember the last one alive on cart, and with that, Mass Effect are able to take the first point. So, you know, well done by them. I think that Sigma pick really working out for them. You know, you're giving your DPS a little more space to go nuts in the backline, and you can see how it's working. The Sigma kind of demands less resources from the healers, and I think that Alari pick also just providing so much more value to this team over this Lucio right now.
100%. I think. You know what? This solidifies that we know what we're talking about. So congratulations to us. No, look, I understand that mid match, right? You're gonna definitely be able. You're gonna definitely have some things you want to try. You're gonna have. Oh, we're already going back in, I believe. And that's a. Oh, that would have been a very nice pick. Look, they's able to save themselves. Law doesn't get picked out there, and we're back in. But yes, mid-match, right? You're gonna want to try certain things. You're gonna want to have your ideas. Sometimes sacrifices and choices have to be made. There's the captivating stuff inside the booth. Gonna be able to find one. Dire Raven does go down, and with that Alari picked off, we're gonna be seeing Mass Effect forced back here a little bit. You have to pay a little bit safely. Hopefully find their own pick. But it's just not happening, and they will be forced.
Yeah. Mass Effect just scrambling right now, trying to figure out where to go, what to do. And even the Flux invested, but it doesn't catch anything as the Law is able to ice block that one. It's kind of all falling apart for Mass Effect here.
The Law does get picked off by Jawzus, and now the Immortality Field forced down as well with the window. Ember's gonna get picked off here probably. Gets down extremely low, is able to escape their lives, but Boo does go down. And what looks like, I mean, I was there with you. I was like, nah, there's no way Mass Effect, you know, invest in these ultimates. There's no way they saw win condition, but they see something we did not, because they were able to find the value they needed. They were able to take that fight win, and with only one ultimate expended, or two, I guess.
Yeah, the Flux and the window coming down for the side of Mass Effect, but you know, don't count these guys out. The fight is, maybe you might be down a person, you might be down a couple more resources, but it's not over until it's over, and Mass Effect know that. Looks like they might be going to a flank visor here. Yep, comes out.
Gonna get flanked around the. Oh my goodness, the damage! The freeze tries to come through with the Galactic Penguins, but it's not gonna catch anybody off guard. Jawzus and Nuclear both flanking through the window. They're saying, not today, you're not gonna be able to use that. I'm not gonna let you sit in there and shoot me from afar, and we'll be capturing point 2. I mean, these swaps, they working so good right now.
Yeah, the Torbjorn maybe just not Mass Effect's thing. I think with the Sigma, you just garner so much more attention from Galactic Penguins. You give so much more space to your Genji, to your Soldier, to go on these flanks and pick up kills that are winning you the team fights. You know, if they keep rolling like the way they are, I think they cap this and get a considerable time bank advantage over Galactic Penguins.
That is going to be if they cap this. I don't believe the Captivating Sun got anything, actually. And Carnage is going to be activating attack pressure, going to be finding 2. Jawzus is going to be able to pick them off, so they're only going to be down 1. The Flux comes through as well, going to be finding multiple squishes in the background, but the Immortality Field's there to keep them alive. Ember is going to get overexposed, so going to get down low. Immortality Field there, returned from inside the Galactic Penguins, and alive, and multiple ultimates online from the Flux, so they can stabilize here if need be. That's right, you might get a little bit more progress from the Galactic Penguins.
Yeah, Terra Surge out, Captive Sun. Oh my god, look at the damage. It looks like Mass Effect, you know, go back to spawn room, Galactic Penguins say, we take this last point. You are not making it any further. Carnage out on the Cassidy now, just able to pump out so much damage with that head tap ability at this close range. You know, Mass Effect, shake that one off. Rough one. You're coming up on Dragon Blade, you're coming up on Attack Visor, and I think if you can make this space, if C-Puff can work his magic and get these guys their openings, I think Mass Effect take this one.
I think they definitely have a solid chance here. Now, ultimates are even, so it's going to be up to whoever can get the most value out of them. The window comes through, so does the freeze. Both ultimates actually invested there for the Galactic Penguins. And now Mass Effect just going to get a very solid reset here. Not going to get picked off.
Oh, they're stuck in this corner.
No, they're fine. They're fine. They're fine. Yeah, they're fine.
Alright, Mass Effect able to stabilize here. Looking at 2 ults versus none. If they move fast enough, they will be able to avoid this high noon and probably can just out-ult Galactic Penguins here. You know, once again, C-Puff needs to get this space made for Nuclear and Jazzis, but, you know, has done an excellent job so far, and I don't see why it shouldn't work for this 3rd point.
Right about the activity right here. Yeah, absolutely. What a beautiful time to use it too. He had every squishy on the board in front of him. Gonna be finding 3 with a single dash. Arcade Mango's gonna be picking up 2 with the map piece, and there's the team kill. No ultimates online for the side of Galactic Penguins. Couple online for the side of Mass Effect. This is looking very strong for them with a minute on the clock.
Excellent coordination there from Mass Effect. You can see these guys know what they're doing, creating so much space with their main tank. They might be able to get out of there. This Maywall is able to split off some of the Mass Effect team. The Flux looks like it will pick up a couple and might secure this for Galactic Penguins. But no! Oh wait, no, they capped. I was about to say, not another one.
Me and Henry both here about to have a heart attack, for real.
Yeah.
Seriously, I mean, look, it was very close. That Flux was absolutely huge, though. C9 Flux, Flux 9, so they call it. I'm
wondering if that was intended by C-Puff, or if that just kind of the cards fell the right way for them.
It's one of those stories they're gonna tell their grandchildren for a very long time. They'll be like, I remember the time in Tranquility Overwatch 2023. When I Flux 9'd at the enemy team off the point. And that's gonna be the story. And they're gonna go, wow.
Incredible. Yeah.
Incredible. Regardless though, now Mass Effect have a very, very solid chance to take this map and might find a way to fight their way back in the series with these comp swaps.
Yeah, you gotta feel good after that one. You know, it might be down a time bank, but I felt like that was a pretty convincing offense from them. There was a lot of fights where they were supposed to lose, I'd say, and they just didn't. So Galactic Penguins kind of showing the cracks in the armor. You know, if you're Mass Effect, you know there's a weakness now. You know there's some way where these guys can fall over like a house of cards, and you just need to blow on it right.
And a house of cards they shall be. Now, who will it be? Will it be granted, Galactic Penguins are the red ones, so I think they're more prone to be the cards, but maybe that's just a little bit of a mismatched color. The turret goes down for the side of the wall, and once again we're seeing this really, really solid start with this initial corner push. Goodness gracious, all the S's. And Mass Effect has a very, 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 very good chance here to sort of find the value they need. And look how the field is trading out. Turret's being blocked off. C-Puff does get caught up just a little bit, but he's trying to find just some backline damage. 10 seconds remaining here, and this is going to be the final fight already. The minute has been burnt away.
Yeah, if Jazzis can come up with another pick, that would be huge for these guys. Oh, C-Puff falls low, but the Immortality Field is there to save. Goose as well, using his Immortality Field, both cooldowns exchanged for these teams. You know, it's got to be a DPS pick. Somebody's got to come up huge. The tanks are just sitting on the front line looking for something. Both windows are out, and C-Puff picks up the Law. Carnage gets Jazzis as well, but Nuclear comes up with Carnage. Looks like things might be falling in the way of Mass Effect.
Ember has the ultimate there. There's a massive Aretha all going to be fighting too. Make that 3 Immortality Field going to be there to keep the rest of them alive. And look at the amount of pressure Ember is still maintaining on this card. They're not getting any progress, Mass Effect are. And Ultimate's still being built up. C-Puff has the Flux. It's probably going to go out here very, very, very soon. There it is. Going to be picking up 1. Nobody can step off the point though. Ember still alive. Neither support really getting found here. So the Aristers are going to keep existing. Nuclear has the Sacrificer. Does get picked off though. Pushed a little too far forward. Jesus gets picked off as well. No DPS online for the side of Mass Effect as they're going to be pushing, as they're going to be trying to hold on for as long as possible. Overtime takes down. Nobody's able to touch. Get Orisa booped off. And that was a 1 corner push for the side of Mass Effect. Galactic Penguins have a very solid chance to match this.
The Law, excellent Molten Core there, cuts off the front and side of that cart, so all they have to do is use the Javelin spin. Ember pushing all of Mass Effect off the back without their DPS to distract Galactic Penguin's backline. You just can't beat the healing that's being pumped into that Orisa, and you know, it's kind of just over at that point. It's all a matter of time.
Speaking of time, 1:36 on the clock for Galactic Penguins to get around a corner and a half. So very, very doable. But I'm also incredibly curious to see if Mass Effect are going to be able to stall out and put as much cart pressure on the point as Galactic Penguins were, right?
I like this. Oh, no, Jazzis, you teased. He's still thinking about it. Looks like he's hovered the Widow for a moment, but then went to the Echo and back to the Genji. I do think Genji was working out for them, and I wouldn't be surprised if they stick to it. Galactic Penguins also, like, still considering their DPS, but looking at this Bastion, it's worked well for them so far. You know, maybe not so well into the Sigma, but you have a minute 36. Work up to it, Artillery Blast, you know, get a pick off that.
Force them off the
There's
high
ways to
ground
make
at the
this
very
work.
least.
Yeah.
Maybe force a couple cooldowns out, no mortality skills, maybe a turret.
It looks like they're gonna give them the space actually. Mass Effect just happy to keep the high ground, don't want to stop this early. Just kind of rolling along, but somebody's got to get down there. C-Buff will probably drop soon.
Yeah.
I hope that they understand how close this cart has to go. You know, it's not around the corner, it's just in the middle of the street. And
Yeah,
Clear comes up
literally a
big.
corner and a half. It's not very far at all. They are able to get a nice pick off the Goose nuclear is, and that's going to allow Mass Effect to sort of stabilize for just a moment. Now, a moment is really all they need. 15 seconds on the clock here. Anything is going to be considered final, right? Any ultimates used, any cooldowns expended. Jazzis is going to get a nice pick on the loss with a very nice deflect. Nobody's going to be there to save him. And Mass Effect, they've kept up the pressure. They're able to maintain their strength.
yeah,
It's
just
very
pumping
good
out
for them.
this damage. It's hard to contend, like, with Mass Effect's damage output. Jazz is in the backline doing so much. You know, Boo Carnage falling low several times. I saw the Law had to dip out, get some heals, and they're just making every second something that Galactic Penguins have to fight for here.
But look who's back. And the Bastion is back. Nuclear's gonna be able to pick off a turret. Actually, nobody in retrospect. Galactic Penguin's gonna be taking the high ground here, trying to get to the back line, trying to get through the Sigma, trying to find a pick before get picked off themselves. Have a couple ultimates to do so. Make that 3, make that almost 4. There is the Alari Captivating Sun. Gonna be fighting the Bastion along with the Blade. Window comes through, not gonna be finding any value. Jazz is able to pick off 2, make that 3. Honestly, might make that a 4. Overtime is still ticking down. It's final fight territory right now. 4 meters for Galactic Beams to go, but they're not able to find a team kill, and that is going to be Mass Effect taking Hryounkin.
Yeah, that looked so much better for Mass Effect. Jazz just went off. Nuclear came up clutch with those early picks. Steepoff just doing so much work as that Sigma, taking that front space and letting his team breathe a little bit. You know, I think that Alari swap also helped them, just keeping your team up with that, you know, healing pylon and that burst beam that just does so much healing. And also just the kill pressure you get from Alari. I think it's the whole package really you get out of that support.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, she's so good right now, and I think that was absolutely a correct choice. Now Mass Effect look very strong. They look to be, knocking on wood, because my desk may have wood. I don't want to cast curse anybody, but they look to be on par with Galactic Penguins. That Rialto map was very close, not decisive at all, and if that's going to be a taste of what we're going to be seeing for the rest of this, unless Galactic Penguins come with a sort of interesting counter swap of their own with those cook comps, I could see this getting very, very, very dicey.
Yeah, if you're Galactic Penguins, there's 2 ways you can go with this, right? You can pick a brawl map, and you can say, look, we know that we can outbrawl you. We've been doing it. Sure, we lost Rialto, but that was really close. You're able to play some of those long-range compositions. We're going to stick you to a map where maybe you have to play Torb, you have to play into our Bastion, something that just makes Mass Effect uncomfortable. Or you can see Galactic Penguins going out with something wild, pull out the cookbook, you know, pick a map that maybe you don't have more of a standard brawl composition for, something a little bit wild. I think you are up a map, you have a little bit of flexibility, but also you did just lose, so you know, Mass Effect, you're gonna be looking optimistic. They're gonna be riding high off that win. you know, you don't want to give them more fuel to the flames.
I mean, if I was Mass Effect, my flame would already be burning. I'm like,
Yeah.
we figured it out. We got the juice. We got the mojo. Let's go, right? Let's figure out the Krabby Patty secret formula and take it to Plankton. Not take it to Plankton. You don't give Galactic Penguins the Krabby Patty secret formula. Oasis is going to be our next map, which is not. I mean, depending on the map, right? Because Oasis is one of those weird ones where you have 3 different compositions for that map, just depending on which point you're trying to play for, right? So, it's very it's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah, I have I've heard that Mass Effect have been playing some Winston Dive on one of the Oasis maps, but I would expect them to maybe not roll out with that. You've seen the Deadly Bastion from both Carnage and the Law, and you know, playing any kind of dive tank into that really is not a fun day. So I think that you have to expect Galactic Penguins to roll out on this brawl. You know, you have to respect that, and you can't be running something a little bit too squishy into that, because you've seen how effective they are, right? Mass Effect, you gotta play something a little bit careful. You know, these are your last legs, right? Gotta play it safe a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, this is absolutely true. I think for the most part, we could see this. So it's interesting, right? Because Oasis is one of those where, like, okay, this particular map isn't necessarily brawl heavy. It can be. Typically, what you would see, and I'm not positive it would be accurate on this patch. Typically, what you would see is you would see like some sort of dive, right? You would hold the high ground, and you would dive in on whatever team is trying to push into the point, right? Because you have the jump pads, you have the high ground, you have the ability to do so. But it looks like Mass Effect, they're gonna go back to this Torb Orisa con. Galactic I've activated the cookbook once again.
They're back on this ball comp. I think the Law fiddling with heroes here for a moment. I would like to say Jazzis came up huge on that Genji several times. Blades were just a turning point in every fight. So, you know, on this Sojourn, looking to make something happen, JJ, on that Torbjorn again. Galactic Penguins, back on their ball Farah comp. This is just like a test of focus almost.
Yeah, I was going to say, with the high ground, you're going to be hard-pressed, and you're hard-pressed to sort of find a target to focus on, right? And with that Mercy pocket, you have to focus down the Mercy or the Farah, or you're eventually just going to get deleted, and we're going to be seeing that here now. All cooldown forced out and destroyed for the side of Mass Effect, they're going to be sort of finding themselves in the back corner. Goose does go down, but Boo's able to get the res off. Jesus is able to get Boo, so they could end up finding this Farah in the long run, as the ball isn't there to really apply too much pressure into this high damage composition. I just really finding victory here. Jesus does go down.
Yeah, Mass Effect just able to kind of pull up in this corner. They play their heals. You know, Immortality was forced very early, and that's kind of led to a couple of these picks that Galactic Penguins have gotten. They're able to just engage and disengage with a lot of speed, and already a barrage stunned out of it, but it doesn't matter because it picks up both supports of Mass Effect. This looks like it's going to be a fight win for the Galactic Penguins. I don't see what else that Mass Effect can do to come back from that one.
Yeah, when the law comes in, you've got to surrender, you've got to serve prison time. So that's basically what that came down to. And now Galactic Penguins have a very strong hold here with the law getting very early pressure in. I don't think it's gonna really find too much value. I think he's just kind of building for that barrage. But yes, Galactic Penguins coming up very strong here with 20% and counting in progress.
Yeah, if you're Galactic Penguins, here's how you work, right? Ember creates the space, and the Law just rains down rockets from above. And you can see they're already rewarded with a pick onto Arcane Mango. That window was invested, but they aren't getting anything out of it. Ember does get a little bit too greedy and falls down.
Captivating Sun does not get canceled out. I thought it might for just a second, but Jesus is able to pick off the Law. Mass Effect looks very strong right now with 2 ultimate sort of invested. Nobody's really, like, there's not really a whole lot. Not a third one now, and well, it's a very scrappy fight. These teams do not like admitting defeat, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, Galactic Penguins do come back in with both of their support ultimates and the mines invested here, forcing out this overclock from Jazzis, but he gets a pick onto Carnage for his efforts. Ember does take him down after that one, but it's the Law in the background with a barrage, and it's gonna be huge. Picks up both of the supports once again, and it looks like Mass Effect, they had this one in the bag and they just fell apart. Oh no.
The worst part about it was Mass Effect. They were fighting that entire time, but they never got a point flip. We're at 85%. That was second to last fight, if not last fight. If Mass Effect can make a touch here with the bar available to them, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna do it. 5 seconds remaining, and there's the hoops. They're coming in.
Yeah, if you can boot people off with this Wrecking Ball, then like, what can you do? Optibot is able to take a spot on that point there, but the Law in the background just wrecking destruction upon all of this Mass Effect team. They got nowhere to go but back
Law
to the spawn room.
4,
Yeah.
Law picks up 4, and that's gonna be it for the first point there. Galactic Penguins, they showed dominance in that map. Mass Effect, they had a chance to sort of pull that one back, but they weren't able to solidify the picks on the remaining squishies. The supports were able to keep themselves alive for so long. The Galactic Penguins came back in full force and were actually able to win it with even more ultimate investment, right? Of course, because that point was never flipped, they didn't have to. It was already last fight, or practically last fight, and they held on to the point. They got to 99%. Mass Effect got picked off early, and they just sort of crumbled.
Yeah, Galactic Penguins put on a clinic there with that Wrecking Ball, able to just distract their team with both the Tracer and the ball so that the Law could just go ham. But they have moved on to this more traditional dive. We've seen on a Brig backline opting for an Echo over maybe the Sombra. Mass Effect sticking to their bread and butter. Justice is back on the Genji that worked so well for him on Rialto. You know, I think these teams both back on things that they look comfortable with. Even though Galactic Penguins is the first time we see dive from them, I can't expect them to be any less than they've been on other comps.
Well, I also think Mass Effect comp is a very strong pick against the dive, though, right? Well, say that, but the supports do get sort of chunked down here. But you've got the Baptiste with the Immortality Shield, you've got the Brig with the stun and the boot. Torb is very scary for Monkey to dive into as well with the right click. Now, it's up to, can you find the value, or will the Monkey split you off so much that your team won't ever be able to focus fire? Justice is able to pick up the Law, so they are going to be the ones to get the first pick. But look at this, Optibot did that 150 for so long, and they finally getting the lead because of the split attention, and finally Galactic Penguins will be the first one to capture and will be the first one to win the game.
I have no idea how Optibot stayed alive there. Just like passed unnoticed as this giant robot, but somehow stays in it, and Mass Effect can pick up this point capture nice and early, set up on this high ground where they are going to be hard to dislodge. Galactic Penguins, they know dive isn't going to work out. We're running into this comp. Who do we even dive? You know, the Brig is an excellent pick for Mass Effect, maybe anticipating something more dive heavy. So Galactic Penguins over on this Brawl comp now with the Cassidy May for more of an isolated pick strategy.
Yes, I really do like this. They are going to be able to split off Optibot, but they recently just has so much HP, and the wall is not nearly as healthy as it used to be. So Mass Effect able to get their reset back up in shape. The window comes through, but Dire Raven does go down. Optibot can pick up Ember, and now it's a 4v4 on the point. Nice draw here. Cooldown before the Optibot gets down low. They are going to be picked off eventually, and 50% there for the side of Mass Effect. So even though they do lose this fight eventually, they do have a very considerable lead.
Yeah, it felt like both tanks went down nice and early in that fight, and then Galactic Penguins just kind of had the better positioning, closer to that high ground, able to just set up Carnage to hit those nice head taps on the Cassidy and win them that fight there. You know, if you're Galactic Penguins, you got this high noon, but you know, you're not necessarily close to anything else, and you know Mass Effect has got everything. They didn't have to swap. They're coming up on all their ultimates except for this window. They got tools in their back pocket.
Absolutely, Carnage is going to be picking off Arcane Mango already, and that's not looking over the Mass Effect. Optibot goes down as well, missing that healing from that. The rally does get used there. Dire Raven does go down, and Ember is able to pick off the fight. They weren't forced to use a single thing.
Yeah, I will say something that maybe we see a little more often in a Harmony tier than anything is, you know, if your tank and your Lucio go down, it's a fight loss. Just get out of there. and instead taking a little bit of time, hanging out a little bit, gets staggered, giving some extra point charge over to Galactic Penguins, and it'll reward them with a higher percentage here for this next fight.
This is going to be a beautiful Orisa ultimate that nowhere from that point to run. Actually, Duke does get split off just a little bit, and actually returns better for side Optify. Better Orisa, question mark. Jaws is able to use the blade in the backline. He's able to pick off Goose, get down, get the rest of the backline up super low, but just isn't quite able to find anything with the amount of CC that Galactic Penguins is attacking. Karn and Chaz behind him here, going to be looking to use it. Going to be finding possibly 3, but he's got a Genji in his face. Jay's able to get the headshot and finish it off. 85% though, and once again, Mass Effect, they're not able to flip the point just yet. Jaz is going to pick off 3, and that will finally be it, but 88% for the Galactic Penguins. It's down to the last fight.
Can I call this the Triple J special? Because we got the Jazus, you know? These guys just winning fights for Mass Effect outright. Backline Genji is so devastating. Galactic Penguins, they seems like they know how to deal with it, but they're still struggling because of how devastating that Genji can be. You know, you can't really use a Torb against it, unlike a Tracer. The Torbjorn doesn't have as much. Oh, wait a minute, they've committed.
I think absolutely right.
And
the windows get traded out. Immortality flips forced up for the side of Mass Effect onto the point. Ember's able to pick off Optibot though, even with the ultimate, even with the window and the Immortality field used there. Now it is officially final fight. Blue's able to pick off Dire Raven, and it is going to be flipped back over to Galactic Penguins. Mass Effect's not going to have a whole lot of time here. They need to reset as quickly as possible. They need to regroup. It's down to 5 seconds. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to touch. This could be it. I don't think anybody's going to make it. We got 3, 2, 1, and that is going to be the map and the match. Galactic Penguins take the series 3-1.
Yeah, if you're Mass Effect, be happy with that one. You guys got to map off these guys. You know, Galactic Penguins considered one of the top teams here in all of Harmony Tier. You know, and they demonstrated why. You know, these guys have comp expertise across many different styles of play. They can play on different maps and still do well, and play into different comps and do well. I think, you know, just a little bit of more versatility on the side of Galactic Penguins, letting them adapt to their problems and figure out some way to get to that win. As you see, 3-1 is the final score for these guys. An excellent series from both ends.
Absolutely, and I think really too what also gave Galactic Penguins the edge, right, was that they came out with that 2-0 lead. Mass Effect had a composition. They had an idea that they said, okay, we can beat Galactic Penguins with this, but then it became Galactic Penguins' map choice on match point, and there wasn't a whole lot Mass Effect could do, right? That Sigma Alari probably would not have been ideal, at least on that Rialto map, or that Oasis map, I apologize. So it's kind of a rock and a hard place. Good stuff for Mass Effect. They've found the idea. They know what they need to be aiming for. They probably can use this as a learning experience for future weeks. Galactic Penguins, they still remain one of our strongest teams, and we can't wait to see more of that absolute powerhouse and who can stop them.
Yeah, and speaking of seeing more of this Tranquility action, you can check out our B stream. I'm not sure if that match is already over or not, but if you want to go watch the VOD, it'll be up on twitch.tv/TranquilityGG2. Yeah, moving into next week, I think Mass Effect, feel good about this one. You lost your first match 3-0, unfortunate. But you just played one of the top teams and you got a 1-3. Like, feel good about that. You know, you guys worked hard. That Sigma comp was well cooked. And, you know, Galactic Penguins, as always, incredible performance. Domination on that ball comp. The Law just putting in his work on that Pharah. These guys are fun to watch.
Absolutely incredible. Well, that does wrap up this series. 3-1 for Galactic Penguins versus Mass Effect. My name is Merp. I was joined by Henry, and we will see you guys in tomorrow because more matches are coming. Don't miss out.